Hello, everyone. I am Tangela, the Palladian High Priestess, and I was coming to you today to talk to you about Saturn and Aquarius. Okay, since you know Saturn is retrograde into Aquarius since June the 4th, and it will remain there until 2023, in which it will move into Pisces. Okay, so. Um, we're going to talk about Saturn and Aquarius. Okay, so Saturn and Aquarius. First, I'm going to start off by saying we know that Aquarius is assigned to Uranus, okay? Sudden shock, surprises, all that's Aquarius energy. But before 1841, Saturn was Aquarius was also a ruler of Saturn. So Capricorn, right along with Aquarius, they both rule Saturn, which is the devil who rules this plane, right? So how it was explained to me by my mentor is like you can look at this place, which I thought this was a great way of explaining it. You can look at Earth and this dimension that we in like prison, okay? So basically, we in prison. And why? Because there is, how I want to see how it was put. I take notes so I won't be all over the place. Okay, so basically, we all have different levels of offenses. We have different there's different criminal levels, okay? And what you're trying to do to get out of this prison is transcend those criminal activities and all those offenses that you have incurred. So the devil, the taskmaster, or the you call him the taskmaster, you can call him the Lord of Karma, or you can call him the Great Punisher. Okay, uh, so he's basically here to whip you into shape. Okay, so basically he's like a manager. So if you don't have any structure or you're poor with planning, Saturn is really gonna do his thing in your life, okay? So that you get that into order. So or get some type of structure or discipline in the level of transcendence that you're supposed to reach. Clearing the generational curses and healing DNA from past lives that you have lived in this plane. So there are forces, okay, just like there higher beings, their lower beings, demonic energies. And these forces work from other realms. Okay, but how do they manifest? They manifest through people. So um so you are being called to break down principalities, different social structures, the way that we live our lives, the way that under the ruling class that we're under, right? How we're uh, they have us to live a certain way. This is how you raise your children. This is what you're supposed to go to school, and all these different types of social structures are going to be um, altered. Okay, that's a good way. That would be a good way of putting it. Okay, or they're gonna be just totally depleted. Okay, especially if they are not meant. They no longer serve us in our transcendence. Aquarius rules the 11th house, so that is the group consciousness, and it's also the individual. Okay, so where it comes a problem is that in Saturn and Aquarius, you have a different view and a different philosophy that clashes with the ruling class. So if you have a different perspective of marriage, which is a social construct, right? Or you have a different way in view of that particular social construct, and it clashes with the ruling class, it can definitely cause major conflict. All right. So also Saturn in Aquarius, um, we're going to talk about. We were talking about the Hellenistic period because before 1841, Aquarius ruled Saturn as well. But now, that's been assigned to Uranus because Uranus was discovered in 1841. All right, so with Saturn and Aquarius, you will have a romance with yourself. Okay, this is like this is the good stuff that you get from Saturn and Aquarius. Okay, you have a romance with yourself and God. You in the 11th house. Okay, the 12th house is the end, right? Which is Pisces, which it will be moving in to 555 in 2023, and that's where you find God, right? Or, different things of that nature. So the end, pretty much. So, like, you have a romance with yourself and God. So the journey of yourself has made you to transcend to a level where you see yourself, see God in yourself, and see yourself in God form. Okay, for the first time. Uh, and you see God in human form 633 through others. You see God, that's how God manifests, is in through others. Just like the devil uses his minions to manifest through people that can be a conduit to handle that type of energy. So does the Most High God. So you see yourself in God form, okay? All right. So we talked about like Uranus, sudden shock, all that type of stuff. So things being discovered by accident, the element of surprise, which is ruled by Aquarius, explosions, and you can think about this on in your life, um, in the collective consciousness, and in the social construct. There will be elements of surprises in the social construct. There will be explosions in the social construct, in the group, in the collective consciousness, and in your individual life. Okay, so this is how 733. This is how this is actually manifested into your life. This is how you can recognize or use the zodiacs to see how things pertain to your life in actual reality. Okay. During this time, you might be dealing with internal restlessness. This could be one of the erratic behaviors, being eccentric, being awkward. Okay, when you are a young evolving soul, Saturn and Aquarius can be very difficult uh, energy to handle, being that Saturn is disciplining you. It's disciplining your ambitions. It's disciplining you so that you can reach your ambitions. Okay, because there's a certain discipline and structure that you have to get to certain levels of ascension and certain levels of ambition that you want to reach. Okay, since this is his plane and he rules like the industry and all that, Saturn, okay, planet that does rule all that, occult knowledge and secret knowledge and different things of that nature. But what I was talking about was, hold on, let me get back to where I was about you being a young uninvolved soul. This could be like psychotic cruelty, the the uh, the levels of obstacles and adversities, uh, but being young, you may also, with Saturn and Aquarius, I'm always doing every time I do this. But anyway, with Saturn and Aquarius, when you're young, you might lose friends, you might lose family members, memories that you held dear to you. That shit might just wither away. Okay, um, your senses, your emotions may become dull. Okay, like your emotions literally become dull. hold on, let me see where I was, because I'll get lost. Okay. Where am I? Here. Yeah, there seems to be a need for isolation and separation. So when Saturn and Aquarius, there is a need. There seems to be a need for isolation, isolating yourself from others, separating yourself from others, so that you can see and hear, you know, what what you need to discover, because it's a self journey, right? So in order to self, that isolation may be needed, especially as you evolving. Okay, on the individual level. Saturn takes away your joy. It takes away the things of pleasure, which is a clash with Leo being the opposite polarity of Aquarius, where a Leo is the expression of the ego. You know, it's loud and it's proud. That's a clash with Saturn, you know what I'm saying, where it takes away all of that. That though, oh, you enjoy that, okay, I'm gonna take all that right on away from you. Okay. It takes away the things that you enjoy. All right. It delays your happiness, is what it does. On a group consciousness and in your individual life and in the social constructs overall. So, but you can offset some of Saturn and Aquarius energy by, pre-planning your days, like trying to mark off lists, doing things like that to 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 kind of just move through the energy. Also, just pick a side, evil or good. Which one you gonna be? Because we know you can be the devil, because you once ruled that planet that was assigned to you. So you can be the devil too, Aquarius, and you know it. You can be a sociopath, dull of emotion. You know what I'm saying? So you want to stay in a high vibration. And anybody that has this aspect in a chart, if you look and see where your Saturn is located, it's very important. All right. Mine is Scorpio. Lord have mercy. The Scorpio is already hard to deal with. So, like I said earlier, psychotic cruelty. Uh, so what Saturn does is it gives you a series of tests, right? And the gods, they want to see what you do with these tests. Are you just, there's no running from them. Are you going to quit when there's blockages and all kinds of things being thrown in your way, and there's these demonic principalities that's using all the forces they can around you, jumping into your family members and everybody that you thought was close to you? That's why you have to isolate yourself, because it becomes very, very hectic. It seems like everybody around you, 1333, gets hacked. So it becomes a conduit for that demonic principality, and it works through them. And so it is assigned to attack you and cause you delays. So they will continue to test you. So what are you going to do? Are you going to persevere and become an innovator and come up with new innovative ways in order to persevere through it? Or are you going to give up and quit? These are the things that they want to see. The more you smile, the more Saturn afflicts your ass. I'm just going to know. Okay? So, God allows you be like, God, why is this going on? Why is this going on? Basically, like I said, you in prison. You have in your past life and in other lives, your ancestors, you read the Bible where it's like, your sins will be put on your child up until the third and fourth generation. That holds true in a certain extent, because you like, why is this going on? Because 1444, you fighting these same type of demonic forces at your are principalities that your ancestors before you fought in different reincarnations that you had, and you are transcending so you can get out of this plane, okay, out of the prison, and you can go into better realms, because there's way better places to live than Earth, okay. So anyway, uh yeah, so that's basically what Saturn and Aquarius is all about. You may go through periods of not having self-love, so not having love for yourself, dealing with hurting your friends and family members, okay. You have a sense to fight the collective ego, you feel the crumbling within before you see the crumbling that's going on around you in your personal life, of things that are gonna fall apart and wither away because they were never built on a solid foundation, or they no longer serve you in your transcendence, so they have to be knocked away, or they no longer vibrate on a level where you vibrate, so they wither away. So that causes loss, okay, and you still have to persevere, you know. uh so like, what else could I say about Saturn? mm It was something else I had wrote on here that I was want to say. Oh yeah. So with this placement, you move with the movers and the shakers, right? But the movers and the shakers may not always have a moral compass in which they go by. So they could be very ruthless and cruel because, like I said, Saturn and Aquarius can dull your emotions. You know, Aquarius you can be a sociopath, just straight up. You don't feel shit, but you can fake it, but you don't feel a motherfucking thing. And so y'all need to, if you resonate with this, you need to look into your chart and see where Aquarius is, where what planet, what house, and what sign your Saturn is placed in. Uh, I had to do this twice, so you know. Uh, Saturn can be messing with your electronics. Look, you trying to do something good. I'm gonna mess this up. Can you persevere? Can you figure out a new way in order to still complete and do the job that you say you was gonna do, regardless, or are you just gonna give up on it? This is the whole thing. So that is a major um, impact that goes on with Saturn and Aquarius. Okay, so losing people and all that type of stuff. But the another way to offset the Saturn and Aquarius energy is just to live to the fullest what you asking for. So whatever you asking for, be that and live that to the fullest. That's all you can do, really. I mean, it sounds somber, but it's ways to offset these things. Okay, so yeah, that was what I was wanting to tell y'all about. Because a lot of Aquarius ruling the crown chakra, and you've been getting a lot of psychic attacks and crown chakra attacks and things of that nature from other demonic principalities. So Saturn and Aquarius also is the time where they sober your ass up, because Saturn rules sobriety as well as celibacy. Saturn rules that as well. So you sober up and you come off cloud nine, and you see what's going on in the real world, and then you proceed from there. How are you going to navigate in this actual 3D plane that we are on right now? Because you've been way lost somewhere, like my girl be calling, in the back room. You're in the back room somewhere. So yeah. So once you sober up and all that, you feel these, you get to see everything very clearly as it is. It basically is clearing all the murky water up. It's clearing all the murky water that you've been swimming in. It's clearing all that shit up. And it can be a harsh reality for some. It could be a harsh reality for all, because we all learning lessons and going through tests. That's why we here. And when you come to that realization, there's still hopes and dreams, but there's hopes. Don't give up on your hopes. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on the things that you love in life, because that's where your innocence comes from. People want to put you somewhere where you don't believe in shit. So that when you don't believe in nothing, then that takes your innocence away. And you got to be like a baby, right? If you want to enter the kingdom, okay? So you have to have that sense of innocence within you. But this could take you there. You know what I'm saying? So that's why there's a distinct decision that you have to make. 21, 21, 21, 22. You see what I'm saying? There's a distinct decision that you have to make there. So yeah. We sobering up around here. Trying to see what's, some people wake up and don't have a plan at all. But, it's all a learning process. 144, it's all a learning process. So when you do wake up and see where you are, then you can start to properly plan in order to get to where you would like to be. Because that's where you and Saturn will get along. If you are planning management of your time, balancing everything out, okay? Working towards your goal, not you have to have a balance in everything in your life. So like good and evil, there's too much work, you know what I'm saying? So you have to give yourself somewhere to breathe. But I found, in the things that I love to do, I found a lot of healing in this, you know what I'm saying? So for myself, just being able to go back and just listen to myself and really be talking to my damn self, you know what I'm saying? 2244. Yeah, so if you if there seems to be like a great challenges going on in your life, and you feel like you're being afflicted with everything that Saturn has to give you at this time of your life, then there is something that you need to manage. It's something that you're doing that you need to manage. You overdoing something, okay? You can do things what you want, but you have to have a balance. You cannot overdo anything. Then there's a problem with the manager. You know what I'm saying? 23. He don't play that shit, and he don't have no mercy on your ass. No, unforgiving at all. I'm sitting up here, man, shoot. So, yeah, when you reflect and you go into your life and you see all this, it's crazy. But yeah, the main word for Saturn and Aquarius is awkward. Awkwardness, quirkiness, eccentricness, okay? Surprise. Okay? So you can look forward to that. And then we move into Pisces. Okay? Where things are being balanced out and set into alignment the way it's supposed to. And we go into Pisces, where Saturn is going to completely expose everything. In Pisces, I mean, there's nothing gonna be left to hide in Pisces when Saturn goes into Pisces. I'm sorry. So this is how we can see how the planetary alignments, and I was looking at the planetary alignments last night, and in this order is the way it was. It was Jupiter, Venus, Mars, and Saturn. Okay, I was looking at it live. Jupiter and Saturn went into conjunction this year, which Jupiter, you love to see Jupiter, because Jupiter bring all the expansion. Jupiter brings all the good luck and wealth. But baby, when it's has, you see, you got the duality. You got to have a duality. You got to have the expansion as much as you have them taking the takeaway, the affliction. You got to have the goodness with the affliction as well. So you learn that lesson and then you get a reward. Pretty much. And you just keep transcending your offenses and your level of crimes that you committed on this plane, or that you paying for your ancestors or your parents or whatever, that they couldn't pay for. You know what I'm saying? And they chose you to do it. So that's what you're doing. And so these are some of the obstacles that you could face along the way. So I thought this was important to say, pass along the information. Why not? Yeah, I don't want to know everything because it takes the excitement out of shit. I thought I did, but the deeper I go, I don't know. Shit, I don't know. Yeah. But that's all I want to talk to y'all about right now was that transit. And because it was in that order like that, it had Jupiter, Venus, Mars, Saturn, both two dualities. I thought that was awesome because you got Jupiter and Saturn. Those are to me that's opposites. Okay, and then you got Venus and Mars. Of course, that's opposites. Of course, Venus, Aries, Libra, for sure. Okay, masculine, feminine planets. So yeah.